So, today I wanted to share a few thoughts about those times when we don't manifest what we want and why those times there can actually be really great benefit for us and a lot of value that we can extract from those experiences, and share a few insights that I've been having about this recently. So, to not manifest what we want, that implies that we've judged that for ourselves. So, for example, we've had maybe a timeline, such as a lot of people have an idea about, like, maybe they should have accomplished certain things in life by a certain age, maybe. Like, maybe you grew up thinking you would get married, have children, kind of do the traditional thing in society by a certain age. And maybe that age comes and it hasn't yet manifested for you, even if it's something that you really want. Or another thing that can happen, like if you set a New Year's intention and you get to the end of the year and you haven't yet manifested your intention for the year. The other time when this can happen, where we might judge ourselves or stop and say, I didn't manifest what I wanted, could be like if we had a specific idea of something that we wanted. Maybe it's a specific person that we wanted to be in a romantic relationship with, or it could be a certain dream job that we applied for, or like maybe we had a client that, or potential client that we connected with, and these specific things that we identified as something that we wanted didn't happen. So it's normal in situations like this, perhaps, where we either had a deadline for ourselves or we had a really specific thing that we wanted, and what we wanted didn't manifest in the deadline, or we didn't get the specific thing. It can be normal to go into this process of maybe judging ourselves, or of feeling disappointed or feeling frustrated, or any other kind of those really uncomfortable feelings. And really, as always, when we're wanting to align and wanting to manifest the best outcomes for ourselves and feel good and everything like that, we want to find a way to come back into alignment, even at those times where it can sometimes feel the most difficult, or we may be tempted to even give up on manifesting altogether. I know I've definitely been there before. And so what I wanted to share is that really at these times where it feels like we've not manifested what we want, there can actually be really great benefit for us. And one of the main benefits that I think is available for us is simply that at those times where it can feel really challenging to maybe judge ourselves as, maybe we weren't enough, or maybe we're really not worthy of what we really wanted, or maybe we did something wrong in our manifesting practice or in our pursuit of the goal or of the dream, it can be really tempting to be hard on ourselves when those kind of things happen. And really, that's where the opportunity lies, because at those times where it can be really challenging to be hard on ourselves, we have the opportunity to actually deepen our self-love and our relationship with ourselves. When those voices of self-criticism or of blame or of doubt are the strongest, that's when we have the greatest opportunity to slow down and really deepen our kindness to ourselves, and really to reaffirm to ourselves that just because what we wanted to manifest didn't happen in the exact timeline that we had in mind, or we didn't attract the specific person that we wanted, or the specific opportunity, or whatever it was, that it doesn't actually mean anything negatively about us as a person. It's not a reason to feel badly about ourselves or what we're doing. It doesn't mean anything like that about us. And so really just giving ourselves some grace at those times and being able to step up and see this as an opportunity to deepen our love of ourselves and our belief in ourselves, and just shower ourselves with self-love and really think about ourselves as like a best friend or a child or someone that we would really want to offer that comfort and that love and that soothing to, no matter what they've accomplished or haven't accomplished or manifested or not manifested. And because when we can do that for ourselves, it really creates that, it strengthens that bond and that relationship with ourselves during those challenging times. That is going to be something that we're always going to know that we have our own backs and that we always have ourselves there as a source of strength. And if this is coming up for you, if this ever has happened to you before where there has been a tendency to judge yourself or feel negatively about your abilities or your value or anything like that, then it shows that there's room to grow in your self-love and in your self-compassion. And then the second opportunity that I think that we have at those times when we didn't manifest what we wanted is it's a chance to deepen our skills of unconditional happiness. That's another way to look at it that can help kind of lighten the energy and shift our perspective to a more positive and helpful place. Because really, like, the most frustrating part, in my opinion and experience, about times when I haven't manifested what I wanted was that the way that it dampens my vibe, or it diminishes my own happiness and my own joy, and kind of the frustration that has happened. But when I'm able to turn it around and see it as an opportunity to strengthen my skills of being able to feel good no matter what, and finding a new way of looking at things that helps soothe or comfort or uplift me, then it's something that I can get more inspired by and more excited by. Because really, is there any greater gift than being able to be unconditionally happy? We don't want our happiness to be dependent upon certain things in the external world happening, because then we're always going to be just a slave to manifestation. Instead of the creator, we're going to be responding to the creation. We're going to be coming from a place of reaction. And so those times are really powerful for strengthening our skills of happiness, of flexibility of mindset, and of perspective, to find a way of looking at things and of looking at ourselves and looking at situations that feel good and that feel better and put us back into balance and harmony again. And then finally, the third idea that I wanted to share with you about this, which is another potential benefit for us at the times when we don't manifest what we want, is it can be an opportunity to really refocus ourselves back on the process of manifestation. Because manifesting, even though it's focused a lot of times on an end result that we're wanting to get to or create in time, really the majority of it is that process of becoming, that process of unfolding, that process of us transforming ourselves into the next version of ourselves who can vibrate with and receive our next level, our next desire, our next dream come true. And when we refocus back on the process and we take a step back and don't focus as much on the big win that we're wanting to get to, but look at the smaller wins and the incremental progress that's been happening, kind of instead of taking this big picture view, look at a smaller picture view of how you've been growing and changing and evolving step by step. That's a lot of times what I'll do with myself in those cases, is make sure that I'm noticing and paying attention to the little wins and the little signs of evidence and progress, and appreciating the process of how I've grown and evolved and how far I've come, even if I'm not exactly where I most want to be quite yet, or I think I most want to be. There's a lot to enjoy in just that process of a new idea that comes, a new insight about things, a new step forward in happiness or in understanding, and really like refocusing back on the process and being present to what's happening each step is a great way to allow the desire that hasn't yet come to pass to keep evolving, and not to kind of freeze it in time and say it didn't happen right now, so therefore, or it didn't happen yet, so therefore I'm going to feel bad about myself or about the situation. It lets the process continue to unfold and continue to evolve, because it will. We've all had those times where it looked like we had failed or things weren't coming together, but then eventually and in time they came together even better than we may have originally wanted or thought possible. Those things happen. So anyway, just wanted to share a few thoughts about this topic, because I think like a lot of times I focus on, how we can manifest and how we can move forward, and it's like just as important as building the skills of how we can manifest is like building the skills of how we can best support ourselves along the way. And part of it is being able to handle those times when we feel disappointed or we feel self-criticism or self-doubt starting to rise. And so I hope you found something valuable in this. Thank you for taking the time to share with me and share this time with me and chat about this.